Alrighty, let's get started. As far as yarn choices, I'm going to be using Peaches and Cream. Feel free to use any worsted weight cotton for your dishcloth. If you want to make this into a scrubby, go ahead and use your acrylic as long as it's worsted weight, or go with red for the holiday. But I don't trust it. I don't trust it. I know it bleeds and I don't want it to bleed on my white. Might look cool, kind of a tie-dye effect, but I don't want it to happen. So I'm going with pink and white. I know this pink is not going to bleed on my white. That's my choice. I'm going to be using, the yarn suggests an H-hook. I'm going to be using what the yarn suggests, or a little smaller, Clover Amour, 5mm, size H. In order to work in the ends and snip, you're going to need these lovely contraptions, your yarn needle and your yarn scissors. They do not have to look like unicorn, but it totally helps if it does. Feel free to follow any of my links down below to Amazon, which I greatly appreciate when you use my links. Let's get started. So excited. This starts out really simple. Alrighty, I'm going to hold on to the tail of my yarn with my left hand, assuming you're right-handed. Hold on to my working yarn with my right hand. I'm going to go up, behind, and over to form an X. Then I'm going to clasp that right there. So I'm secure. I'm going under the far away end of that X, far away from my body. I'm going over that top one with my hook down so I can grab it, pull it under that bottom leg, and twist. Now I'm going to take that, this is the working yarn if you remember correctly, and I'm going to grab and pull under, yarn over, grab and pull under, yarn over, grab and pull under. Okay, that's probably the most complicated portion of this exercise. We have chained 3 times so far before I pinched the actual chains to keep it all secure and took it off my fingers. Now we have a circle, almost like a little lasso, and I'm going to be working over the double end portion of this. See him right there? How it's double there and single over here? Work over the double end. That way you can cinch it closed securely. I need to see 2 more chains though, because we need to get to 5 chains out of our magic circle, which is what you just created. If that is too weird, feel free to do a slip knot, chain 4, and then slip into the first chain and then chain 5. Alrighty, but this will look a little bit cleaner. So what we have here is 5 chains, which are going to work as 1 double crochet and a chain 2. So the 3 are the double crochet, and then that's the chain 2. So I've yarned over and I'm ready to do 3 double crochets. 1. Have you done double crochets before? If you haven't, yarn over, insert into this circle, draw up a loop, yarn over, pull under 2, yarn over, pull under 2. Yeah? There's 2. Here's the 3rd one in our little cluster. And chain 2. That is going to make this turn into a square. Come here. There he is. Now I need 3 more double crochets. Yarn over, insert, draw up a loop, yarn over, pull under 2, yarn over, pull under 2. 1 more for this little cluster. How wonderful are dishcloths. Even if they aren't perfect, they still work perfectly fine. Chain 2, start another cluster of 3 double crochets. There's going to be 4 in total. There's no suspense in my patterns. I would tell you the whole thing if that would make any sense at all at this point. So let's work as we go. Here is 1 side of 3. Here's the 2nd side of 3. Here's the 3rd side of 3. This is going to count as a double crochet, the end of the next bundle of 3. So after this chain 2, you just need to do 2 double crochets because we've already formed that first one. My magic circle is very slack and I'm still working over those 2 strands. So 2 double crochets, 1, 2. And no chains or anything. You're going to grab the short end here. That's the tail of your yarn. Give it a cinch, but don't pull too tight. You're not trying to kill it. And you're going to count up those chains you made. 1, 2, the third one is where you're going to stick your crochet hook, grab that yarn, and pull through everything. That's a slip stitch. So I have 1, 2, and those chains are looking like 3. And for all intents and purposes, they are now a double crochet instead of chains. And what we're going to do here is start row 2. So you have successfully made row 1. You can pull this tighter later. I prefer with cotton, which is highly breakable. At the end, we are just going to, heck, let's do it now. It makes no difference. Go ahead and throw that on a needle. And this is the beautiful thing about crochet. Just yank that up. Your hook can come right out. And you're going to go right on in those stitches. And just sew it around. Continue the way it was. And then, when you feel like it's gone through enough times to be secure, then you can give it a yank. But I wouldn't do it after just one time around because cotton breaks. And now that I've gone, since this is the back, this is going to be the front, and this is the back. You can tell because the back of the stitches will be bumpier. I'm just going to make a nice, messy knot and secure it. We have come out of that slip stitch. We are chaining 1, 2, and you are going to count that as a double crochet. So the next thing you're going to do is 2 double crochets in this hole right here. So 2 of them, 1, 2, then chain 2, and in that same hole that you just worked into, 2 more double crochets. 1, 2. Beautiful. Okay, now you have 3 double crochets in the row prior to this, right there. Double crochet 1 time in the top of each of those just to travel over to the next corner. This is a nice solid granny square. 1, then on top of the second, and on top of the third. Awesome. And now we've made our way to the next hole. Each hole on these portions, not the heart portion, but the portion of dishcloth that is not a heart, is going to have 2 double crochets, a chain 2, and 2 more double crochets. So go ahead and do that. 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, which will bring you right to the next side. You have that corner formed by the chain 2. You've expanded your row so that this dishcloth can grow, and it brings you right to the next 3 stitches to work on top of. So each of the previous row's 3 stitches gets 1 double crochet each. In this case it's 3, but your rows are going to grow by 4 stitches each row. So we have those 3, and now at the end we are doing that corner pattern that we just spoke about, which is, oh my goodness, there we go, 2 double crochets, 1 chain 2, 2 double crochets. He's going to grow, he's going to be a beautiful square, he's going to be very structurally integratized. Is that a word? Integratized. And we're going to arrive safely at our next side that needs 1 double crochet on the top of each stitch in the row, which is 3 again. Hello. There's 3. Now we have a corner, 2 double crochets. Oh my goodness. There we go. It can only get better from here. Chain 2, 2 more double crochets. Now, remember, when we're working on the top of this one, now it would be 3, 1 on top of each, but this chain 3 on top of this last stitch counts as a stitch. So we only need to do 1 on top of this one and 1 on top of that one. So 2 double crochets, and then we're going to slip stitch. So double crochet, but there is our chain 1, chain 2, chain 3. Put your hook underneath the legs of that chain 3. There was no yarning over or anything. This is a slip stitch. Bring it out and through everything on the hook. And we have finished row 2. We're going to start row 3. I just want you to get a good look at mine in case it helps you out. We are going to be chaining 3. It will be counting as a stitch. It'll be counting as the top of that stitch. 1, 2, 3. That's the first double crochet of the next row. You might want to take a peek right now. You have chain 2s in each corner and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 double crochets. Each of these will get 1 double crochet on top of them, and each corner will again have 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets, so that it can grow outward. And that's going to be our pattern. We're taking this all the way to 5 rows. We're fastening off. So I slip stitch into the stitch after there, and then I just snip the yarn on the left and pull out. There we go. And now I'm going to get the yarn that I'm going to be attaching, working on the front. You're going to reattach your yarn by taking the tail end, making a slip knot. Make it a loose slip knot because you're going to have to pull the yarn through there in a second. So don't make a choke. Count 7 stitches to the left of any corner. So here's a corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's where it's going. Take your yarn to the back, grab and pull through everything on the hook. So now you're attached. Go ahead and chain 2. I'm going to be working over my tail. You do not have to if it makes it complicated for you. But yarn, insert, and go under 2. One more time. Yarn over, insert, draw up a loop, yarn over, and go under 2. What we've done is begin. This is basically standing in for the beginning of a double crochet. This is the first half of a double crochet. This is the first half of a double crochet. So this is going to be our attach 3 double crochet cluster. And we're going to make it a cluster by yarning over and pulling through everything on. Now you're only going to have to do one of the attaches at the very beginning of a heart row. Chain 2. That's the first half of a heart. Yarn over, and now we are going to do a regular 3 double crochet cluster. I'm yarning over after that chain 2. In the same hole, I'm inserting, yarn over, draw up a loop, yarn over, pull under 2, again, and again. I have 4 stitches on my hook. I'm yarning over to pull under all 3. And that is our little heart stitch. You're going to chain 3 times. 1, 2, 3. I want you to take a peek at what mine looks like just in case you're wondering if yours looks as you want it to. And now we're going to skip 6 stitches and do this in the third and the next one. You're going to skip 6 stitches and do this in the 7th one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's where it's going to land. So in order for it to land there, you need to yarn over, insert into that 7th stitch, yarn over, draw up a loop, yarn over, pull under 2. Again, yarn over, insert, draw up a loop, yarn over, pull under 2. Third time, yarn over, insert, yarn over, draw up a loop, yarn over, pull under 2. 4 strands on your hook, yarn over, pull under everything. Give me 2 chains just to separate those little heart cheeks. Yarn over and give me a 3 double crochet cluster. Yarn over, pull under everything on the hook. Give me a chain 3 to travel to the next place where you need a heart, and that is going to be inside here where we are going to actually place 2 hearts just so we can get around that corner. So yarn over, insert into your corner. In case you want to take a peek, we're going to have 2 in the middle and 2 hearts on the corners. Yarn over, insert, yarn over, draw up a loop, yarn over, pull under 2, yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull under 2, and again, yarn over, pull under everything, chain 2. Again, give me a 3 double crochet cluster. And after this one, I need a chain 3. We're traveling around that corner. We need some extra space. Now in the same overcrowded center hole here, we're going to do this again. So yarn over, insert, and start a 3 double crochet cluster. We are abusing this corner, it's true, but I tried to do it without and it just doesn't turn out right. It looks sparse and sad. Chain 2 and start your last 3 double crochet cluster in this little hole. Yarn over, pull under everything on the hook. Give me a chain 3, 2, 3, skip 6 double crochets and place a heart in the 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yarn over and start your first 3 double crochet cluster. Yarn over, pull under everything, chain 2 in the middle of your heart, another 3 double crochet cluster, chain 3 to travel to the next one, skip 6 stitches, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, he does count, 5, 6, and number 7 right here is where we're going to plant our next 3 double crochet cluster. I would double crochet over this, but it's just too sparse. We might be able to do it next, otherwise we're gonna have to weave him in. Just is what it is. I love to double crochet and save myself weaving in if I can, but when you can't, you can't. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, here he is. Yarn over and insert to start that 3 double crochet cluster. Yarn over and pull under everything, chain 2, and start the next 3 double crochet cluster. These make the best gifts, but most of all they're great for just decorating your space. Chain 3, and you're going to be planting another corner. Here's the last corner. It's going to look just like that one. So you're going to go in with, after your chain 3, a 3 double crochet cluster, chain 2, 3 double crochet cluster, chain 3, 3 double crochet cluster, chain 2, 3 double crochet cluster. That's going to have 2 hearts and 2 hearts, just like the previous corners. Alrighty, how'd it go? Did you get all of your hearts all the way around? This is how we should look at this point. You have finished that last corner and chained 3 to travel over to the next heart, and you're just going to find that original stitch right there in the heart, not the chain 3, but right there on top. Slip stitch in, yarn over, drop and pull through, yarn over again, and draw up a loop, and you are finished with this row. And now we're ready to reattach that white yarn. Chain 1, And then we're going to chain one more time. That'll be a single crochet, that's a chain one. Single crochet in between your heart clusters, chain one, yarn over, and we are going to half double crochet in number 3 and 4 of the 6 that you skipped. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, one of them's hiding in there. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Half double crochet. To half double crochet, oops, looks like I'm gonna have to do it again anyway. To half double crochet, you yarn over, insert into the stitch, yarn over, draw up a loop. You'll have 3 on your hook, yarn over and pull through everything on your hook all at once. Yarn over, insert into the next stitch, number 4, yarn over, draw up a loop, yarn over, pull under everything on your hook. Chain one, and then you're going to single crochet in between your next 2 heart clusters. So this is what we're looking at so far. Chain one, and now we're going to do those 2 half double crochets in the 3rd and 4th of the stitches that you skipped in the prior row. Chain one, oops, chain one, and single crochet in between the heart clusters. Chain one, and then again half double crochet in number 3 and 4 of the stitches that you skipped in the previous row. Chain one, then you're going to single crochet in the next heart cluster, which happens to be in a corner, which you'll have 2 sets of heart clusters. So then you chain one, and then we need to do 2 single crochets. There it is. And then chain 2, and then 2 more single crochets. Chain 1 to get into the next area, and single crochet in between the last set of heart clusters in this corner. Chain 1, and we've exited this corner. So